Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Batul Sadiq, image consultant and personal stylist, owner of BHS Image Consulting. We are continuing our Transform Your Wardrobe series with You Have Arrived and corporate queen turned professional organizer, Lisa Malone. Hi, Lisa.
Hello, how is everyone today? Thank you for coming out and learning the second part of our wardrobe series, which is how to then create a boutique closet.
Thank you so much for joining us and very, very excited to learn this piece, which is so important after learning about how to hone down on authentic personal style, but then take that and transform it into that boutique closet of our dreams.
Yes. All right, so before we get started, we would love to tell you about how we met, how we came to be, what is You Have Arrived, and all the good things about it. So, Batul, why don't you start talking about how we met and kind of our complementary services?
Yes, I love this story. So,
Me too.
Lisa and I happened to meet through an event for female entrepreneurs, and we instantly clicked. And so, as a professional organizer on your end, and as a personal stylist on my end, we realized the challenges our clients were facing were complementary. We realized the struggle was very, very real. And both of us had this important desire to really get the word out, to make something that we know can be simple and easy and so impactful available to as many people as possible. And so from that and that little coffee shop conversation, Lisa, You Have Arrived was born. And since that time, we've had the opportunity to really create additional resources, allowing individuals the opportunity to really dig deep and create a custom tailored plan for having authentic personal style that really enhances their wardrobe in the professional and personal setting, but then also taking that and creating a calm boutique style closet space, making getting dressed a celebration every morning.
Yes, and we're really happy to be able to create this course so that we can offer to everyone, no matter where you're located, no matter what your budget might be. We
Yeah.
feel and felt more satisfied to be able to help more people than one client at a time when we were working together in home, in closets. We both have an incredible passion for teaching and helping, and really, like Batul said, spreading the word because it's so transformative. And honestly, if you've never even thought about organizing your wardrobe, you should. It really makes a difference. And so I'll get into it a little bit later. But in our first session that we had last week with Batul, she talked about how to develop your personal style and then use that, what you learned, to be able to go into your closet and then create that space. So we touched on this a little bit. And again, this is a very high level. We took pieces out of our course to be able to bring this to you today. So you could start today in doing something different in your life, in your closet, in your wardrobe. So let's talk about why it matters. So one of the things that I love to always make a note of when I'm doing anything is, why do I care? Why does it matter to me? So when you're thinking about this for yourself, what do you want out of a process? Here's some things to talk or think about: is this organization results in lost time? So a lot of you, everyone goes through the same thing. You're looking for something, you can't find it, you're frustrated, you're looking everywhere. And then lost money. You go out and buy it again because you can't find what you originally had because it's lost. And I am absolutely one of these people. When I moved recently, was determined to organize my garage, and I found 4 screen kits. Every time I needed to rescreen a window because it was torn or ugly or worn, I went out and bought a new kit because I couldn't find the original one. So this represents $2.7 billion spent annually in the United States replacing items alone. I mean, we luckily have the budgets and the accessibility to be able to go out and get something quickly, but it is such wasted money and time if we just took the time to organize what we had and what we already own. Organization also reduces stress levels. It increases your productivity level. It helps you sleep better, improves your mood, your overall well-being. So out of all of these topics, there are things that resonate with you more importantly than others that will make you create your why. And then that why has to resonate with you and stick with you as you're going through the process, because it can be overwhelming, as you will see as I continue on. There's a lot of emotion involved in organizing. These are the typical organizing challenges: not enough space, too much stuff, and a hi, I'm the problem, it's me. I love that quote because I see this all the time in my clients. For example, they are overwhelmed with the space. There's too much in it, but also they don't take the time to put away their laundry. It's stuffed, or they don't put it away at all because they just, it's too overwhelming. So what do you see as your typical organizational challenges?
I think being overwhelmed, accessibility. Again, like we have the stuff, you have the screens for your windows, but not knowing where it is, not realizing we have it, and not being able to pull from it because of that is typically a challenge. And just not knowing how to utilize the space that we have because everybody's space is different. And so I know when you come in, and I'm very grateful to you because my closet definitely looks a lot better after working with you. That's typically the challenges that I see.
Yes, agreed. The one of the things that you just mentioned, when I go into any closet, or my clients are overwhelmed, right? I don't have enough space. They don't ever say they have too much stuff, which is interesting. Just that they're overwhelmed with the space. It's not enough space. But what I see is the potential, and I think my brain is trained that way to see the ways and the techniques that can be applied to make a functional system. Because once it's done, the clients say, I can feel like I can breathe again. So it's really something I enjoy doing so much, and I want to teach you how to do it too. So let's talk about some statistics, because everyone loves a good statistic. The formatting there's a little bit off, but if everyone wears 20% of their clothes 80% of the time. And it's shocking but easy to just pick up the same things and put them on over and over again. You know what works, you know what's easy, you know what's flattering enough, what gets you through whatever you need to wear to go where you need to go. But the problem is you've got so many things that you don't wear that you can't find the things that you love within that to be able to change things up. It's just too much to think about to do more than wearing 20% of your clothes. Here's another statistic. 50% of people, over 50%, rehang an item that doesn't fit or flatter rather than getting rid of it. So, and I know everyone's guilty of this. You take something off the hanger, you put it on, you're like, I don't really love it. It's not going to work today. You hang it back up and put it back. It's not going to work today. It probably won't work ever. And so you should move it along, donate it, return it if the tags are still on it and it's within your return window. Stop hanging on to these things, because this is where the burden starts happening in your closet to bring you down and get that feeling of being overwhelmed, frustrated, and depressed.
We keep thinking one day, right? Those two words get us every time. One day I might fit into it. One day I might need it. One day I might give it away to my sister or whoever who might need it, right?
Yes, agreed. Which leads me to the next percentage is almost everyone keeps clothes they don't wear because they feel guilty. So they spent the money already, the tags are still on it, they gained weight, they feel bad about that, they feel bad about themselves. Someone gave it to them, they feel guilty. What if they come over one day and ask me to show it to them or wear it? Or, all of this is unnecessary emotion, but we obviously, we're caring people, we're caring, thoughtful people. And we would prefer to beat ourselves up rather than just let it go and really honestly look forward and change. If you're going to buy something and not wear it, return it. You can make those changes to keep yourself from having to deal with these burdens that we're putting on ourselves.
Yeah. And You Have Arrived definitely takes everyone through all of those steps.
Absolutely. And I'll go through some questions that you can ask yourself to try to get you through those parts. But this literally is a fact. Every client I walk into, the clothes that they wear are not in the closet. They are in the dirty clothes bin, or they're clean, but they're in laundry piles that haven't been put away yet, or they're semi-clean where they've worn it once and they're going to wear it again tomorrow. They just throw it on the chair. It's hard to put away laundry when your closet is full of clothes that you don't wear. So to be able to use your closet efficiently is get rid of the things you don't wear so you can put the things you do wear in it. It's a simple thought, but it is so true. So I'm going to talk to you about the secret formula of professional organizing. Professional organizing is not moving things around. I tell people, like, if you have a problem getting rid of things, we are not the right fit, because you are wasting your money if you're just bringing me in to move things around. Now, can there be systems in place? Absolutely. But ultimately, you would be storing things that you don't use or wear. And if you haven't taken the time to go through things and truly purge, you are honestly just moving things around. So the goal, the steps are this. Every space needs a purpose. So I've seen closets that have a million things in them. We're talking about your primary closet, now your clothing closet. This is what I found in clothing closets. Hammers, nails, things that go in the garage, Christmas presents that people forgot that they bought because they're so jammed back that they couldn't remember to wrap them. Wrapping paper for holidays.
Luggage is a big one too.
Yes, luggage takes up so much space, and if you don't travel that much, put it somewhere else. If you travel a lot, but you just have that smaller piece,
Yeah.
the smaller piece only, but the whole lineup of the big things that you never even, yes, absolutely. I also see a lot of decor, so pillows or linens, like a comforter. That this all needs to go into a different space. You want a successful space has only 2 or 3 categories in it, and that keeps it not from being overwhelmed, but also so you know where to go to find something. Then purging is the next step. You take everything out, whether you take it out, all at one time or a little bit at a time. Just go through things and know that what you are keeping in there truly is something you will use and wear, and that looks good on you. Rehoming is part of that process. So that's finding a different home for the items I talked about. So linen things go in the linen closet. Maybe you create a gift wrapping room. Maybe you use another area to hide your gifts for the holidays. But that is also a challenge for another day. So when you're working on a project, the thing that will make you successful is to do one thing at a time. So finish your primary closet first, and then address the other areas later. Just put your items in there. It might be messier before they get better, but it will be a problem for another day, is how I like to say it to my clients. Then the next step is designing and grouping. So when you go into a boutique shop, this is why I love using the words boutique style space, is imagine you go into a boutique small store and everything in it is designed for you, fits you, flatters you, is your color, and you can find everything and you can shop around. And that is what our goal is for you in your closet. The pants are going to be in one section, tops in another section. The tops will be organized from 0 sleeves to long sleeves, so you can find things, and your camisoles aren't getting mixed in with your long sleeves, and they're lost. You're going to create a flow where you will use it to get dressed, for example, or you will use it based on the primary parts of your day. So if you spend more time in athleisure wear, that would be more prominently placed than your dress up clothes, or maybe you're in a corporate environment, so your corporate clothes will be more prominently displayed. Whatever works for you, the system you design is for you to work. You can't go online and find the ultimate system. You want to group things, and that's what makes a professional organizing system work. Then the last piece is containing. You don't buy any products. Hangers maybe only, but really decide what you want to use when you know what you need to organize, because you may end up putting jeans on a shelf if you've got more shelf space, or hanging jeans if you have more hanging space. And you can use stuff like small children's hangers to hang pants, because it'll give you another inch or 2 of hanging space. Use to create a really unique solution and end result for you. And then when you're using bins, obviously put a label on it, because you will forget what's in that bin, and you will then literally forget you have those clothes or those items.
I love what you said, Lisa, about organizing the things you actually need to use. So first and foremost, you don't want to even start organizing if you have so many things to eliminate and get rid of, right? Like first purge it and rehome it. So that really, I know, hits home for a lot of people, because that's the first hurdle. And then the idea of just creating categories, it's like visually pleasing to see things lined up that way. And it just creates a sense of calm every morning when you're going to get ready for your day. So I love that.
Yeah, it really does. I go into my closet every day, and I have it has transformed multiple times. And thankfully, because of you, because my closet was very well organized, as you can imagine, but I had so many things in there that weren't me anymore. So I had this corporate career and I was ready to get rid of all of it. But what if I got a job again? Or I don't know, I've got this space, I'll keep it. I didn't even know how to reinvent items I already had until you came in and helped me. And so it's really a combination of, if you like a piece, you can keep it. You can create something different with it. You can match it with jeans. You can match it with a t-shirt. Like, the possibilities are endless, but what you ultimately want to end up with is a closet of clothes that you actually wear and you put together to create really unique looks for you.
And I love what you just said. Just because you have the space doesn't mean it has to be storage for things you don't need.
Yes, yes, amen, amen. All right, so this checklist is a way to approach editing your closet. So as I mentioned, a lot of this stuff is emotional, but there's different categories where you can kind of crisscross through it. So we start with the basics. Do I love it? Does it fit? A lot of times people are like, oh, I love it. And then they won't try it on. I mean, here's a story. I love this one dress. I keep long dresses that are really kind of basic to wear to events that I know is going to work, right? So I hadn't tried this dress on for a couple of years. You know, my weight hasn't changed. I did not anticipate the shifting of my body based on age. And I took this dress to California conference because there was a dress up night one night. So I go up to my room and go to put my dress on to go to this award ceremony. I could not get my dress zipped up. I had to breathe in so hard and smash my chest because my body had shifted. And I was a little more top heavy than I had been, even though my weight was the same. And I was dying, but I wore that dress. So here's the point of my story. Even if you love it and you think it's so fit, you should try it on because your body does shift, and that is okay. You should not keep something because you think you're going to get fit back into it. Like, literally, your body changes. You know, do you still need it? Okay, go ahead.
The clothes need to fit you. You don't need to conform your body to fit the clothes.
Yes, or who you used to be. Then paring down. I have a lot of clients who buy, when they find something they like, they buy in every color, but they don't like every color. They just think that they might want to wear that. So are you paring things down? Do you have a lot of duplicates? When you start sorting things together, you will actually have another chance to purge because you will notice if you've got 15 white blouses, then you look at those and think, what is the blouse that I can wear with the most items? You know, just bring it down. Emotional, like go through all the emotional pieces of it. What are you feeling when in your gut you all of a sudden start negotiating with yourself? When you start negotiating with yourself, this is a professional tip, that means you got to get rid of it because you're justifying it staying even though you know it's got to go. So stop the argument you're having with yourself and the what ifs and the what if I gain weight and what if I lose weight and the tags are still on it. I feel awful. I should be wearing this. All those things, you've got to let yourself off the hook and you've got to give yourself grace and realize, you know, the money's already gone. Let's move forward from here. Let's work better to buy things that with intention that fit our authentic selves and move forward. Then speaking of authentic style, these are questions that I really learned from Batul. Would I buy it again? So if you pull something out and you love it and you want to keep it, but would you buy it again? No, not my authentic style.
Because it might not be serving you now, right?
Exactly. Does it make you feel confident? So as I went through this process with Batul, I really mixed and matched my things. Like I would pull something out, a pair of pants, and be determined not to wear it with what I always matched it with and pull something else out. And then I would accessorize, and then I'd wear a cool pair of shoes. And I had the shoes, I just never wore those shoes because I was always wearing the same pair of shoes because they were comfortable, they were neutral. I also would grab like a clutch and something that was really wacky, you know, like a leopard print or something. I was buying and I still have all of these clutches that I never used. And then I would walk out ready to go. And my children and my husband would be like, wow, you really look good. And I'm like, but didn't I look good before? And it's not that I didn't look good before. It's that I always wore the same things. They were seeing me in the same things.
Yeah.
And to really just pop, like you will get compliments. It will be surprising. that people will notice that you are doing something different. Then they will be, we talked about this last week, they will see the change in you and they will want the change in themselves. If you want to touch on that, but I thought that was
Yeah.
so great.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll make you feel good and more confident. And so when you're going out in your day, you're presenting at work, you're leading a team, or even like you said, you're running out the door, your partner gives you a compliment. It's a great way to start the day and to really have that energy throughout the day. What would you say to people who ask you, like, I don't even know where to start? There's so much stuff. It's so overwhelming. I know you said I have to pare down. I know you said I have to take a look at how I feel about certain things and the idea of letting go. What would you say to them to make it less overwhelming of an idea to
That
go through the
is a
closet?
great question. That's a great question. It literally is baby steps. So it's one of the things to make to strategies you can apply to make it a little bit easier is you don't need to do it. I mean, I teach a course called Wardrobe in a Weekend where you can like literally go bananas and just tackle it the whole weekend. But even putting a donation bin in your closet so that when you take off an item or from the hanger and try it on and don't like it, you can move it along. You can start that way.
Mm.
Asking
So
for
I'm
help.
getting dressed, I pick out a top, I realize I don't like it, it's torn, it doesn't fit right. Instead of rehanging it, like over 50% of people do, which you shared earlier, if I have a bin or something accessible in my closet, I can just throw it directly in there. And then by
Yes,
the end of the week, remove it from the closet, right?
yes. And you all have seen the bins in your grocery store parking lot. Every parking lot seems to have a donation bin now. This is not the time to try to find the right charity to receive this item. This is more of a time like you need to get out of the gate. You need to overcome a hurdle, which is over engineering or overthinking or overdoing. And then you feel coming on, the anxiety of the whole process. And then you end doing what you're doing. Make it super simple. And your bin in your closet should be something that's disposable. So it should be just like a garbage bag or a box. So when you drop it off, you can leave it and you don't have to find another container to put it in, like literally into the car, out of the car, into the donation center.
One less hurdle and one less excuse, right?
Exactly. Self-defeating behaviors is also one of the things that are going to get in the way. So, even how you talk poorly to yourself, like, oh my God, look at you, I do it to myself still. This is what I like to say to myself. You're doing amazing, Lisa. I am really proud of you right now that you are in here, and I'm like, thank you so much. I mean, literally, it makes me laugh just to talk to myself that way because I'm just like, you know what? If you're not going to cheer yourself on, it's going to be hard for other people to cheer you on because when someone else cheers you on, you're going to say, oh, they're wrong. They don't, not that good.
Because mindset matters, right?
Yes, yes, it is all about mindset. When we talk about family and guilt, when you donate, please don't donate to your family members unless they really are like, just say, hey, I'm about to get rid of a bunch of clothes. Do you want to come through them? If you do, you got to be here, by the weekend. But people will take things in because they feel bad. And if you show up on their doorstep with clothes, of course they're going to say, oh, thanks. And they're going to sit in the corner. You're just basically transferring your stress and your clutter to them and giving the burden to them for them to be able to deal with it. So don't do that. Don't overcomplicate ways to donate. Like I mentioned, just keep them moving. And the one thing that I always talk about that I mentioned last week as well, this opportunity to transform your wardrobe is the opportunity to stop spending money on clothes. You don't even know what you have yet to be able to see what you need. And we are going to absolutely talk about shopping with intention. And, you've got to do the work to figure out what you want to look like to be able to go into the store and figure out what you need and what you're missing.
Yeah,
So
definitely where the styling piece comes in, right? Reimagining the pieces you have versus consistently adding things you don't need.
yes, and the fast fashion, we talked about this last week, just you buy something cheap or you go to TJ Maxx and you buy it, but it's not quality. So if you're going to wear it one or two times, is it really cheaper than buying something of quality that you're going to wear 100 times? Another tactic is how to get started is one in, one out. If you're going to keep shopping, something's got to go. Now that is still keeping the same amount of things in your closet. So I think from a where do you get started perspective, the process is just get rid of things. I mean, literally, if you're looking at 50% of your closet, grab 10 things, 10 items, stick them in a bag. You know you can find 10 items that you're like, yeah, you're right. I never really liked this, or this makes me look frumpy, short, whatever. You will find items like that that you can immediately discard. All right, so when I talk about organizational design, there's some 3 basic steps, or 4 actually, to embrace white space is really important. But purging, purging, purging. Declutter ruthlessly. That is the key. That is your first easiest step. Then second is invest in hangers. I talked about hangers for a split second, but the thin line hangers. Did you want to say something, Batul?
I was just going to say the hangers are life changing. If not anything else, those hangers make a huge difference.
They do. I mean, they're visually pleasing. They are thin. They will give you the room to push things aside. They're not the one is the wire, one is a plastic, one is wooden, one is broken. Your closet looks a hot mess because it is a hot mess. But when you are on one single hanger and you are transforming them over to that hanger, you will see like a calm will start to arrive in your closet. Also, the felt fabric, the felt texture keeps your clothes on the hangers. So one of the things that you will find, especially in a coat closet, as you know, in your front hall, the second one coat falls onto the ground, that's when all the coats are on the ground because the kids and the family will just toss them in. Same goes for your closet. You will find a pile will start forming right there simply because something fell off a hanger. And then when it comes to products, additional products, just use what you have until like I said, you don't have to be fancy the first round. You can even use shoe boxes. You can use, just clear storage containers to just put them in places and know, does this design work? Does it make sense to throw all of my yoga pants in a basket and grab them from there versus trying to find a place to hang them or fold them and keep them managed? So and then embracing the white space. So one of the things that I think about when I think about white space is giving you room to breathe, to going into this space and just not being choked out in descriptive words.
You've actually introduced me to so many different organizing hacks and items that I didn't even know existed. Handbag inserts, ways to organize hats, belts. Belts is a big one because they're always all over the place. Drawer dividers, so many things that I didn't even know existed that have really been excellent organizing solutions for my wardrobe. And I know when I'm talking to my clients and they come across the same issues, I'm like, you got to check this out. These are all the things that Lisa's taught me. And they'll come back to me and say, Lisa's a genius. These things are amazing. And I feel like a different person when I walk into my closet.
Yeah, it really does make a difference. And when you can't even push your clothes to the side to see what you have because your clothes are so jammed in there, you will start to understand the white space and how that works, how it functions better in your life, how it makes you more productive and makes life easier. So speaking of wall spaces and hat storage and all the things, I know some of you do have small closets and there isn't space for everything, and you do wear more than what is can be contained in there. So in this case, this is how I approach clients in that same fashion. When they have hats, we look at wall space. When they have extra shoes or seasonal items, they can go somewhere else for a while. Or if it needs to be a functional space, you can use under the bed storage with wheels on it to pull them in and out to get your shoes out of there or get jeans out of there or sweatpants out of there. The bulkier items that might be taking up space in your closet that you can put under there, that it doesn't matter that they're under the bed. Like you wouldn't put your high-end blouses under the bed. They're better suited and better cared for if they're hanging, but other things you can. Back of the door, there's a lot of great door hangers that give you those extra spaces to put, like in this example with books and things. Obviously, you don't need a plant in there, but you can keep your clutches in there. You can keep scarves on it. You can use it for your gently worn items, hats, all the things. And you can then convert your furniture into storage. So I have one of these benches. One of you can keep at the end of your bed, but I keep mine in my closet, and I keep clutches in there. But again, going back to categories, You need to limit the number of categories that are in any area. So if you, in this case, turn your storage bench into kind of a dumping zone, you will lose everything in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be like clutches or scarves or accessories. Belts is a good one because you can dig around in there. Everything doesn't have to be perfectly organized, but you have to know that there's only belts in there. So when you're looking for a belt, that is where you go and that is where you return your belt.
So being really intentional about it, right?
Absolutely. So here's some case studies I want to show you. Every client has a challenge. Every space has a challenge. So what I love about what I do is to figure out how to solve the problems that the client is having and talk to them about, what they're dealing with, look at their space and really kind of analyze things and then go around and I open every door, every cabinet in their bedroom and in their bathroom and in their closet to figure out what do we have to work with and what on earth is in the space currently. So in this case, this was a linen closet that was in the bedroom across from the bathroom door. There were no towels in it because the towels were in the bathroom. They were in the cabinets underneath the sink. So the linen closet was used as kind of a catch-all. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, extra this, extra that, but nothing really jumped out at me. Nothing that I couldn't go through, take out, purge, and find a home somewhere else for in a place that belonged to make more sense for them to find it.
Yeah.
So if you look like right above the suitcase, there are 2 bins of extra toiletries. Well, toiletries can go in the bathroom or toiletries can go into a travel space where you keep your travel things because it is something you grab before you travel. So these are the way my brain thinks when I'm thinking about everything in here. There's a space for it somewhere else in the house. It just all should be together. Whatever it is, you should have one space for everything. It makes it easier. So what I did is I turned it into a shoe closet. She had shoes in her regular closet, but there wasn't enough room in her clothing closet for shoes. It only had space for clothes and accessories. So like scarves, and we used the wall for hats, and we used the hanging clothes and then folding clothes and shelving for folding clothes. So I added a couple shelves above the existing shelving, and those shelves are adjustable, but the shelves below it were not adjustable. So I used shoe stackers to put the shoes on top of each other to get a lot more pairs across. And then I put the boots on the ground because they had the taller level to be able to store the higher shoes that didn't fit on the middle shelf, which is where the more kind of mid-sized shoe heights were contained. So in this case, everything is grouped in subcategories there. We got the flats at the top. We've got the mid-sized boots, dress shoes. We've got casual shoes. Then we got tennis shoes. Then we got boots. So even within that, there's no confusion where she goes for something and where something gets put back when she's returning the item to that space.
It's a complete transformation and it doesn't require, adding more space into your house. Because a lot of times what I'll hear is, well, I just don't have the space. But really, it's how you're utilizing the space, right? We do have it somewhere. We just don't realize how to best use it.
Exactly. And one of the best things you can do is go to the ceiling. There's so much space above the shelf that is at the top of your closet. And you can't just pile a pile, like you can't just go, well, let me put 30 pairs of jeans up there because that's not manageable. You can't pull a jean out from the bottom and even get to the top to see what your jeans, but also that's going to tip. So what you want to do is you want to add shelves to it. And there's tons of shelving that you can just install, or you can do stackable shelves on that top shelf. There's a lot of ways that you can slice it and dice it. So which reminds me, and we'll talk about this later, we have a Facebook group, which is private, which is just for people who are interested in their wardrobe transformation. It includes people who have taken the course, but involves people who are just interested in little pieces of it. So we'll talk about this, and we post challenges, and people are able to post their pictures and get feedback on what to do. So if you're looking for guidance, I'll show you how to get on our Facebook group. So in this transformation case study, the challenge was every inch of this client's closet was full of stuff. She had plenty of space. She was not able to work with me to purge. But what she did have, which was phenomenal, was an adjustable closet system. So what I did was I added shelving, or I added the top level of shelving on the right-hand picture to be able to double the size of the hanging spaces. And then I took the shoes and added shoe shelves, which doubled the space of the shoes, the high-heeled shoes you see at the bottom, and then stack the stackers again to maximize the shelving space. And I could adjust those shoes to add shoes. And then underneath the hanging clothes are shallow bins. Those bins pull in and out very easily and contain all of her running shoes and she's a doctor, so she had a lot of clogs. And what are those other shoes that everyone likes to wear?
Crocs.
Crocs, thank you. I was thinking Uggs, but not Uggs, Crocs. And so she would just pull them out. Now, could she purge? Absolutely. She's the type of person that likes something and buys in every color. As a doctor, she's very busy. She looks amazing when she gets dressed. She has amazing clothes and amazing shoes to pair, and she does use her things, but she doesn't need this many things. So, but she's got the space. So, you have to decide what you want to do with your stuff. But if you don't have the space, there's no need to hang on to things. And you can see on the bottom shelf, it goes from jackets to camisoles. From the back side, you see the longer, heavier clothes, and then it comes down. And then you've got the blouses, and they're kind of color-coded, but also in sleeves, and then down to the camisoles. So she can really shop a camisole and wear it with a blazer and go to a work meeting. Or she can, it's summertime, she can just wear the camisole alone with shorts or a skirt, whatever. But this is absolutely a shoppable space that's easy to maintain.
That's a lot of shoes, and I'm very impressed at how you were able to get that organized.
It is a lot of shoes. It's funny, I go through stages where I'm like, I don't think this is going to work. I don't think I can do this. But then I do, because it's just so fun for me. I mean, honestly, but otherwise I would say, purge. In this case, I only added one thing, and that was an extra rod because she had a lot of athleisure wear. She had a lot of skirts, and the skirts were being held on the shelves, and they were too slippery to be able to fold and maintain. So I just put those, hung them down on the shelf, on the hanging space, and then replaced the shelves with bins to manage bathing suits and bathing suit cover-ups and jeans, and then created a purse section and then the shoes section, and I just arranged it so it fit. Now, she did a lot of purging, and she did a great job. There's another closet that we brought in. She was actually using it for her shoes, and I brought the shoes in here to have the more casual shoes with the casual shirts, skirts, and athleisure wear. So you can do a lot of different things to create a closet of your dreams.
And it's interesting because you cleared up so much space that on the top you actually have room for plants and really nice bags and items to display.
Yes.
So it really does feel like you're walking into a boutique.
It does, and I love taking things and putting them on the top shelf. If you have enough space that the top shelf is open, or you have added an extra shelf, you can bling it out. You can put your favorite purse and stuff it with some tissues or an insert and leave it up there and grab it. And it's just like, you buy a bag, let's call it even Lululemon, and you can put a tissue in it and put it up on the top and just make it fun. I mean, this is your space where you can go in and actually have fun. I never used to have fun in my closet till I met you. And now I just see the potential, and I even made it more organized than it was, because I really went all out, because I'm just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I love it so much. I really want a place for my own. And I changed into chandeliers. I mean, my husband shares a closet with me. He loves it too. He does not mind my girly chandelier lighting. He thinks it's great.
The energy is different for sure. And the key word that you just said is fun. We have to have fun with our style, with our closets. It needs to be a joyous experience. And the way you have arrived is structured is to really take you through that process. So it's not overwhelming. It's not stressful. You know exactly what you need to be doing to create that fun, time of getting ready, and then being able to create an organized boutique space that supports that. So, everything, Lisa, that you've talked about here today and everything we talked about last week when it comes to style, we are all about action steps, right? So it's time to take action, really for yourself, to just do this for yourself and to really enhance that time, to save that money, and to really do something for yourself. And so what are some next steps, Lisa, that
Well,
everyone can take?
before going to next steps, I want to just second what you said there. Every one of my clients, and myself included, and you, Bethel, we put everyone else in our family first. We do everything for everyone. Everyone has the best items, the best uh, teams, equipment, things, and we really become too exhausted when it comes to doing things for ourselves. So the one thing that we talk about, and you have arrived, is do this for yourself first. Like when you're on the airplane, they say put the oxygen mask on yourself first so you can help others. This is a really amazing self-care experience for you to think about yourself first. And then when you wake up in the morning and you've dressed yourself and you feel great, you walk out, you're a better person for it to help all the other people in your lives. We're not asking you not to think about every other people. We're asking you just to take some time for yourself.
Because when your cup is full, you're able to do for others as well.
Yes, exactly. So I mentioned our private Facebook group. You can join it through youhavearrived.net. That's where you can also take the course, sign up for the course. If you would like a free workbook, just message us from youhavearrived.net and we will send you something that you can use to get started. But we look forward to having you for us being part of your journey, but also being part of our group and our team. And we thank you so much for being here. And
Thank
can't wait to
you.
work more with you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. That was amazing. I know every time I, talk to you and listen to your insights about organizing, I always take away something new. And so even for me, I can think right now of all the things I can do with that space on the highest shelf in my closet and what I can do to make it more fun and exciting when I walk in there. So thank you again, www.youhavearrived.net. Get ready for a transformation of your style and your closet for less than a Target run. Please let us know your thoughts, request a free workbook if you would like to continue to take action steps, and get in touch with Lisa or myself if you have any questions. Thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.